Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Metro Exodus Good Ending walkthrough, and this is mission 3, also known as Yamantau. And we are a bit into the mission at this point. I decided to cut out the first maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, because that is more or less an interactive cutscene, so I wanted to get right into the action. You can't mess up the beginning of this. There are no threats. All you do is ride up to this base on a rail car. And we are here because Miller wanted to find the government. And this is what remains of it. They have turned into degenerate cannibals and they have kidnapped Anna, those bastards. And this is where the mission kicks off. Because, as you can see, we are in a big firefight. And if you want to conserve your ammo here, just do like I do. I crouch down behind this bench and just wait. Because we are waiting for that elevator to get down so we can get out of this little snake pit of enemies. And these enemies are at an infinite spawn. So shooting these guys is just wasting ammo. Take off anyone like that manages to get past Miller and Idiot and Duke and Damir and whatever they're all called. But in this level you can unlock a bonus trophy called Righteous Vengeance. And that is unlocked by killing 90 cannibals. So if you want to, you can stay here in the beginning. As I said, the enemies are at an infinite spawn, so they will just continue coming in. So when the elevator comes down, just hang around and kill people. And you'll get another chance to rack up quite a few kills at the end of this level. You will see the trophy unlock from me. This is my second playthrough, but I talked about that in one of my Volga videos, that all the kill related trophies, they stack in between playthroughs. So if you don't get this on your first playthrough, you can just use chapter select. Select this level and kill cannibals to your heart's content. And that will unlock it. So very easy. And now Miller is giving us our new objectives. They are gonna try to find the leaders of this place, I think. And we have been tasked with finding Anna. Because these guys are not only planning on killing her and eating her, they are probably gonna rape her as well. And we can't have that. That is so not okay. So we are gonna search this place high and low to try to find her, and spoiler alert, we are gonna succeed in it. But this level is very different from the Volga level. In Volga, you did not see it in my videos since I trimmed out all the running, but Volga is a huge sandbox level which you are free to explore as you please. This is quite the opposite. We are gonna spend the entire level inside this bunker, killing cannibals. And I think it is a nice change of pace. And I think after having explored Volga, on my first playthrough, this is just me running around here like an idiot because I couldn't remember how to open a door. I couldn't remember if it was time triggered or if you had to do something else. And the fact of the matter is, you have to go over to this fuse box. So that is something I decided to keep in because it's just a minor delay and I couldn't find a good way to edit it out. But as I said, the Volga level, on my first playthrough of this game, when I didn't know where I was supposed to go and in what order I was supposed to go there, I thought that that level, it outstayed its welcome a little bit. I think it's fun that they implemented a new style in this game, that you have some levels or 2 levels. There is another one like that called Caspian that we will reach after this one. But as I said, when you don't know where you're supposed to go and you don't have a mini-map, you only have that map that you can bring out, I thought it got a little bit confusing. And I did feel that I spent a bit too much time on that level. When I reached the end, I had gotten the passenger car from the bandits in the depot and was heading back to the Aurora. I felt so done. Second time, when I was recording this walkthrough, I had so much more fun with it because I knew exactly where I was supposed to go and in what order I felt confident in doing so. And as I said, this level is quite different. This is as basic run and gun as it gets. And I think this is where I get the Righteous Vengeance trophy. Yes! Not the most heroic way to unlock that trophy, killing a guy by kicking open a door. But who cares? As long as you get those sweet, sweet trophies. Love that ping. And in this level we're also gonna be introduced to a new enemy type, which I refer to as heavies. Because there are enemies in this game that have heavy armor, and they take such a fucking pounding if you don't know how to take them on. Your guns are not very good against those guys. The key to taking them down effectively is a combination of Molotov cocktails and your rifles. I usually do throw 2 Molotovs, and when he's standing there staggered by the flames, spray his ass with the Kalashnikov. That will make him go down. In this video you will see me use 3 Molotovs. That is just wastefulness on my part. I think I even threw the last Molotov at the same time as he went down. Which made it feel a bit annoying, but when you're playing on normal it doesn't really matter, because there are very few times that you need to use the Molotovs. The only time I think I use them is against those heavy dudes. And you do find some throughout the game, and I can't remember exactly how much resources you need to make them. But all in all, let's say you find 3 Molotovs. And there are, if you follow this guide, you will face off against 3 heavy armor dudes throughout the entire game. There is 1 in this one, and there are 2 in Caspian. So then you shouldn't have any problems getting sufficient Molotovs. By the way, mistake coming up, do not walk in there, because there is a steam pipe that has been ruptured. The guy rolling on the floor screaming in pain is a dead giveaway. And me walking into the steam is just video creator being an idiot. So learn from my mistakes. Do not walk into the steam. All that will happen is that you'll take damage and you'll probably feel bad about it afterwards. But this level, as I said, I think this level is really fun. Because these guys are quite degenerate. They are really dumb, and since it is so straightforward, this level, they will never ever try to flank you. Sometimes you can do like me and miss totally. Wow. That is one of those moments that I now, in retrospect, almost wish I had trimmed out of this video. Or replayed it. But the thing is, I have talked about that from time to time in my videos. Sometimes when I play games, I am godlike when it comes to aiming. This is something you heard me talk about before. Sometimes, not so much. Like the fact that he died with a delay as well. And the good part about keeping those things in a walkthrough like this is that it shows you just how forgiving normal difficulty can be. Had this been on Ranger Hardcore, I would have died instantly. Maybe 1 or 2 hits would have killed me. But the enemies in this level, there are basically 2 types of enemies, except for the heavy guy. There are the ones with firearms, and there are the ones with torches. The ones with torches will always rush you. They are very easy to take down from afar. They have no firing weapons. And the guys with the guns, since we're playing on normal, their aim isn't super good. By the way, there's an enemy in here. Once again, me being unaware of my surroundings. But the guys with firearms will usually try and stay back a little bit. They'll try to fire at you from a distance. But the advantage you have is that you have aim assist, and as I said, this difficulty is quite forgiving. You'll see that in this corridor, I think. We have one guy with a torch running our way. Just take his ass out. And there is another guy way back there. I think he even has a shotgun, and shotgunners are never a threat when you take them on at long. Nope. Sorry. My bad. He had a machine gun. But it doesn't really matter, because he's so far away, there is sufficient cover, so you can just take your time, stay back. And that is always something that you should be wary about when you're playing games. Always do short control bursts, unless enemies are close to you. I've talked about that at great length, so I'm not gonna rant on about it for too long, but it's always good with a little reminder that always be careful. Unless you have an unlimited amount of bullets. By the way, we are heading into the pipe to the left. But before we go in there, I like to go up here, because there are 2 guys over here to the right. And if you move up to this place, you can take them out from a position where they have a really hard time hitting you. It is a little bit finicky to manage to take them down. You're gonna have to shoot through bars and shit like that. But it's always good when you have the possibility to get the drop on an enemy. Always use it. But of course, when we get through the pipe, there are still more assholes. And I think I'm gonna switch over to the grenades now for a very easy kill. We're gonna take out, I think it's 3 or 4 guys with 1 grenade toss. And this is something I advise you that you do as well. This will make this a little bit easier, because we're gonna sneak in here, and these guys are engaged in full combat with Miller and his friends. There are 3 guys there and a 4th, so we toss in a grenade right there. Takes out 3 guys down at ground level, and some explosive barrels went up in flames and took out the guy up on the ledge. That does not mean that you're safe. There is still that torch guy. But it makes that little fight so much easier. And I think this is... Whoops. Too close for comfort. I think we'll very soon get up to the point where we will take on the heavy dude as well. So after you've thrown that grenade, make sure to switch out your grenades for the Molotovs. I know that we have to open a door before we get into him. That came out wrong. I know we have to open a door before we get into the room where he is. Was what I was gonna say. And always, if you feel that you're running low on medkits, take down your backpack. As long as you're sure there are no enemies close by, that are aggro towards you, you can always restock on medkits. And if you do like me and scavenge through all the resources, that is something you did not see in the Volga level. That in between the different instances of combat, loot through every hut, loot through every train car, whatever you can find, loot through corpses. And this is where we'll meet the heavy. So make sure you have the Molotovs equipped. He's gonna come in through that door straight in front of us. So equip them. Make sure your gun is reloaded. And I'm gonna move in here to the right, behind this shelf. Two normal enemies are gonna come in, but he should be your main focus. He has a huge gun, and the holes it kicks in you are even bigger. So try, if you can, hit him in center mass with a Molotov. If not, make sure it lands right by his feet, and you saw me there wasting one of my precious fire bombs. But it doesn't really matter, because we are only gonna need... You only need 4 more, sorry, if you're going for the good ending, because one of those guys is during a side mission that we'll do in the Caspian level. If you're not going for all the side missions, you can just ignore him. But waste not one... That made no sense. Never mind. Either way, there is no damage in wasting one, and sometimes it's better to be sure to kill him. Because even on normal, he will rip through your health bar so quick. I was starting to think, first time I ran into that guy, I died quite a few times during that fight. And I was starting to think I was doing something wrong. That is how much of a beating he can take and dish out at the same time. Because it felt to me like I didn't think about using Molotovs. I tried first with grenades, normal grenades. They are not nearly as efficient as Molotovs are against him. Be aware of this. Because since he is wearing heavy armor, the armor will protect him from the blast of a grenade. But fire will eat right through it. Which fire does. It's famous for that. So always go for Molotovs, and as I said, first time I met him, I was starting to think I was doing something wrong, but no, he just takes a hell of a beating. And now you're gonna see a little transition as soon as you get up to Anna. It's because you go into a rather lengthy cutscene where the doctor of these cannibals, he comes in and attacks you, and things escalate, and Anna kills him in the end. Quite a cool cutscene. But Anna is a badass. In Metro Last Light, we found out that she is a sniper, one of Miller's best, and she is a brutal soldier. And I think now we will see yet another transition. Not quite sure. I think I trimmed this out. First she's gonna talk for a little bit, and then she's gonna pull the elevator, and there we go. When you have ridden the elevator down, you come into this control room where you meet up with Miller and I think it's Idiot. Doesn't really matter which one it is. But they will have quite a lengthy conversation, so I trimmed that out because this level is long enough as it is, even though it is quite streamlined. It takes around 20 minutes, since this video is around 20 minutes, and that's effective time. As I said, I trimmed out about 10 minutes at the beginning, and all the talking in between. And also something you may have noticed in this guide, I have trimmed out all the times, or at least I think I did. I know I did in later videos. I trimmed out all the times I used my backpack when I changed upgrades on my weapons, and when I made medkits, just due to the fact that a lot of the upgrades you use, or a lot of the upgrades you use for Artyom's suit or whatever, it comes down to personal choice, personal preference. And these videos would be long enough they are long enough even without me showing you every time I make medkits. But as you can see, in this elevator, I am hunkered down behind Miller. And this is also one of those moments, if you want to conserve your ammo, just hide behind him and wait. You will take a little bit of damage. You can see it's starting to get a little bit red up at the top side of the screen. But it's the easiest way to get out. And as I said at the beginning of this level, that there was an infinite enemy spawn and you can kill lots of enemies there. Here you can rack up quite a few kills as well. I decide to just hunker down once again. Want to conserve my ammo, make it as easy as possible. Don't engage in any unnecessary combat. But these guys will run after you until we get out of this bunker. So feel free to just spray if you're going for righteous vengeance. But that is the end of the Yamantau level, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.